Hey everyone, Kaylee, your friendly neighborhood hairstylist here, and today we're doing some decades hairstyles. Welcome to me post time travel. I thought it would be super fun to do a video where we go back through the decades and recreate some of the hairstyles, because there are a variety of costumes out there that can benefit from this, whether you just want to be a 40s girl, hi, how are ya, or any other decade, or if you have a specific costume in mind from that decade, you can utilize one of these hairstyles. So if you want to be Agent Peggy Carter, or you want to be somebody from Glow, or you want to be somebody from Mean Girls, or a whole bunch of other stuff, I've got you covered. So I am really excited to get into this. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button to help support my channel, and of course you can hit the subscribe button to join the Braidaholic family here on Kayley Melissa. I also want to thank Garnier for sponsoring this video, and with all that said, let's get time traveling. Let's get started in the 1920s with a flapper hairstyle, because who doesn't love a chance to wear sequin and fringe? Also celebrate a time that was really great in women's history. It's when we got to start voting, start wearing makeup, start putting more effort into our hair. It was a good time. I'm gonna be doing this hairstyle both on my length of hair and on my sister's longer hair, so you can see this with a bob and a faux bob. Let's get into it. First, we're gonna get started with the Garnier Anti-Humidity Smoothing Milk. This goes over the ends of your hair to help smooth and control any frizz. And you can do this on damp or dry hair. For one more layer of protection, I'm using the Garnier Flat Iron Perfector. This is a heat protectant spray, and you can use this to help, obviously, protect your hair from the heat that we're about to use doing this style. For this hairstyle, we are starting with the side part. Hello. And during this era, finger waves were very popular. We're not gonna do super accurate finger waves, partially because they are like gelled down to your hair and they're hard to do, but also I think kind of a fluffy, more textured look is really fun, so that's what we're gonna focus on today. First, we're gonna start out by sectioning the hair and clipping the stuff we're not curling right now out of the way. To create this hairstyle, I'm gonna be curling all my hair away from my face using a 1/4 inch curling iron. If you have a curling wand with interchangeable heads, you probably have an attachment like this, but you can also just buy a curling iron like this very easily. They're not expensive, and it can be really fun for stuff like this. Or conversely, you could follow my straw curls tutorial and just use really big straws, like smoothie straws, recyclable smoothie straws. And now you're basically gonna keep going in sections. I'm going to take little tiny sections because I want this to be really, really solid and hold the curl very well. If your hair holds the curl well, or maybe it's a little bit thinner, you can go in bigger sections. Do you? Basically, you just wanna get a nice tight curl going. Okay, now that the curls are in, you want these to cool before we do anything to them, especially if your hair is a little harder to curl. This step is crucial, so go chill, put on some makeup, get ready for your night, come back when they're cooled. I'm gonna go drink some coffee. BRB. And now the fun part, we're going to comb through this. So if your hair has any natural frizz to it, I would recommend going through very gently with your fingertips, like bear claws, and raking through. If your hair doesn't frizz as easily, you could use a wide tooth comb. Just go gently and slowly. I'm gonna try to force a little bit more of a wave here, just for fun. This is extra, this is optional. I'm gonna take this comb and I'm gonna comb my hair away from my face right here, and you can see it's kind of creating this arc. Just gonna put my hand right down on the top of that arc and then brush the hair forward to finish it out. So you should have a little, and then put your hair down on the bottom of that, brush this away again. And then you see the next ridge form, put your hand down on it, brush away. And there you go, little finger wave. If you're brave, you can try doing that on the back too. Or, you know, just try to gently tame things. I'm gonna go with gently taming. And on this side, come away, put your hand down at the top of that peak, and comb towards your face to get the first one started. And then you should see this little ridge right here where the hair dips in. Put your hand down on that and brush away again. And there you go. Now if that didn't work out, just comb your fingers back through it and have cute little tight waves. That'll work too. And once you have your waves where you want them, you want to go ahead and grab some hairspray. I'm doing the Garnier Sleek and Shine hairspray with 24-hour hold. And I'm gonna go ahead and spray those in place because we don't wanna lose them. Now at this point, your hairstyle can be done because we're sprayed, we're curled, we're looking great. I've got a couple little more tips if you want them. First, if you're wearing a beautiful 1920s style accessory, I'm gonna show you how you can put this on and have it look really seamless, because most of them have this beautiful jeweled front and then an elastic back. So let's talk about how to hide the elastic back. Go ahead and imagine where this is gonna sit on your head. For me, it's gonna be right here over my eyebrows. And so imagine about where that is in the back of your head. You're gonna go from the ears back and where you want your headband to sit up, clip that top hair out of the way, and then put on your hair accessory. Then you can let the hair that we clipped up back down, and it's gonna hide the elastic, and you just have your beautiful jewels on your forehead. I want my hair to be just a little bit shorter. If your hair is shorter than mine, you can skip this step. If you are loving your lob looking like this, you can skip this step. I really associate that like short bob with the 1920s. So I'm gonna fake my bob to be even shorter, even though my hair is already short. I'm just gonna be extra like that, okay? Go with me. So when your hair is shorter, you actually get to faux bob really easily. I'm just gonna pull half my hair into a little elastic at the very end. I'm going to tuck it up and pin it against my head, and that's done. Now I'll do the same thing on the other side. And at this point, both the short hair and the modified short hair version are done. I'm going to use the Garnier Sleek and Shine hairspray to make sure this holds all night long and doesn't go anywhere because I am loving this style. But another cool thing about flappers is that they pushed boundaries in economic, political, and sexual freedom for women. They had this energetic nature. They had their skirts shorter so they could dance more. They did their hair. They wore makeup. They broke the boundaries that were there before and paved the way for so much change that ended up happening in the 20th century. So when you wear a flapper costume, you don't just look cute, you represent some pretty awesome women too. Now for the long hair version, you're going to start the exact same way. So you're gonna do all the little curls and rake through the hair just the same way that I did before. And then if you're wearing a hair accessory, you can go ahead and put that in just like I did before by sectioning the hair in the back, putting it on, and letting it down. And then for your faux bob realness, you're gonna bring the hair together and create a braid starting just above where your shoulders are and going down to the end of your hair, securing with an elastic. Then roll that braid up like a little bun or a sleeping bag and pin that up against your head underneath the rest of the hair. You can use as many bobby pins as you need. It's gonna work. You're gonna be great. And once you're done, if you feel like it looks a little bit tight, you can just use your thumb and forefinger to pull out little pieces and loosen it up wherever you need. Welcome to the 1940s. 1940s hair was popularized by volume on top and then full either cascading kind of retro waves or kind of poofier permed waves at the bottom. Think about Rita Hayworth, her hair. And there were so many ways to get volume on top, and some of them were so intricate and so over the top, beautiful, but today I want to focus on something we can do. So we're gonna do some realistic Peggy Carter-esque victory rolls. Not quite as big and pin-up-y, but just what they would have actually worn. It's gonna be pretty, it's gonna be retro, and it's gonna be recreatable. We love. Let's do it. To prep my hair, I've already utilized the Garnier Sky High Mousse in my hair to get hold and obvious volume. I'm also gonna utilize that flat iron perfector again before I curl my hair. You are going to start with a side part on whatever side you want. We're gonna section the hair from the ears forward and clip that out of the way and work on the back first. And now in the back, we're gonna go in sections and I'm gonna be pinning the hair up to cool. I recommend it for this style because we are gonna be rushing through and you want a really strong, robust curl. But if you're in a hurry or you don't want to, you can skip it, but I recommend it. Okay. So to curl the hair, I'm using a 3/4 inch curling iron and I'm going to be curling the hair in alternating directions per row. So the first row, I'm gonna curl all in the same direction, and then I'm gonna let down the next section of hair and curl that in the opposite direction. So you're basically going like all the curls to the right, all the curls to the left, all the curls to the right, all the curls to the left, all the way through. And there we go, beautifully faux pin curled. We're ready to move to the front. So we're gonna let the front down. Well, that's lovely. I was not expecting that. Apparently I can just clip my hair into a pin curl and it makes a curl. Thanks, hair. Let's separate this top section over here. So kind of the mohawk. This is gonna be last. For the sides, we're gonna prep them to go up and back. So we're actually gonna be doing the curls like this. So they're gonna go away from the face. And then if you wanna set them, you're setting them going up and back as well. And we're gonna do that in sections. And as far as what I'm using to clip these in place, I'm just using whatever clips I have that are easy to work with. So in the back I used wave clips, and up here I'm using these little creaseless clips. So basically, if you envision the way the hair is gonna go when it goes up into the victory roll, that's the way we're curling the hair. So it's already coming up like it's gonna go there, and then you have the curl, basically just prepping the shape to go exactly where we want it. Which was very signature of this time period, and it's not something we do as much currently because we don't actually want the hair to flow as much as, you know, old school hairstyles. There we go, and then for up here, So for this section, we're gonna keep curling the same direction that we did on this side because this is kind of our like big victory roll, but we're gonna pin the curls up a little bit more to maintain a little bit more volume because that is where the volume is gonna be. If you're doing this without the clips, you're just gonna keep curling your hair into the direction it's gonna be going in the victory roll. And now everything is set. You want everything to be cool before you take it down. The back is completely cool on me, so I'm gonna start taking that down while the front sets. You could also do this the opposite direction if you wanted to. This is just the way I wanted to do it. And now we're going to brush these out. So it's gonna go through a stage where it like balloons out and gets crazy. Just keep brushing it, and eventually everything forms together and makes a nice pretty shape. Once the back looks something like this, you're good to go. But generally, you want just a nice fluffy wave, and whatever that is on you is perfect. Let's go ahead and take down the little side. We'll practice on this side. Alrighty. Alright, so this section that we just let down, you're going to brush through it and brush it upwards. Then while you still have it positioned upward diagonally, you're going to tease back, starting very close to the root and then working your way out. Additionally, you want to position the hair slightly forward as you're doing that so it comes back nicely when we make the victory roll. Because what we're doing when we tease is we're netting the hair together so we can then mold it. Like so. Now before I sweep this back, I'm going to use a little bit of this Garnier Pure Clean finishing paste. I'm going to put just a little bit over my fingers, and I'm going to run that over the top. So essentially now we have your support structure in here. You should be able to feel like a hair sponge right here. We're just wrapping the hair around that and then curling it up on top. So to do that, you're going to hold your hair up in that same diagonal position and wrap it around your fingers. Just wrapped it around 2 fingers to make kind of a donut shape here. Then you roll that back in towards your head, and you can set that kind of forward if you want, and then pin it in place. See, the thing is when you prep this well, it's very easy because you've already molded the hair literally to sit the exact way that it's sitting. And now basically we're gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna let down this bottom section first, and we're gonna brush through and tease that first. That way you have a little bit more of a chance at getting the teasing in there really well before we address the top section. All right, and we're just going to leave that there and pretend like it's normal while we take down the top. We're also going to tease this top one, but I'm gonna go in sections. I'm going to do this front curl first and then the second curl. Smooth over the top. We just wanna tease this one separately so we can make sure we get to all areas of the top. Now I'm smoothing over the top like we did on the other side. Now back in with our paste. On this side, before I do the actual twist, I'm kind of forming the hair where I want it to be, and I'm going to pin that in place just for the first round because I feel like I'm handling a lot more hair on this side, and it helps to kind of use bobby pins as an extra set of hands to hold things halfway through if you need it. And now we're going to do the same thing of wrapping my hair around my fingers and then pinning that little pin curl up so that we create the rest of the victory roll. First, douse this thing in hairspray, and then that's it. There you go, less rockabilly, more actual 1940s. I love this. If you were doing like Agent Peggy Carter or anything else where you would need a 1940s look, this is it. All right, welcome to the 60s. It is time for some teasing and some hair flips. Here we go. We're gonna start with a 1-inch iron, and I already have heat protected in my hair, so I'm pretty much ready to go. This hairstyle does rely on a side part, so I'm just gonna get that going. So I'm gonna start at the top. And essentially what we're doing is taking sections as wide as the curling iron and curling them all just straight down. And as you take each curl off the curling iron, you're gonna hold it in place and pin it so it can cool there. Okay, honestly, if you follow this tutorial and you do this, I'm gonna need you to take a picture and post it on your Insta story. It is obligatory. So I mean, full disclosure, doing it this way makes my hair nerd heart so happy. But if your hair holds a curl decently well, you can just start at the bottom and go in sections and curl your hair under and you'll be just fine. It's just, for me, this is part of the process. It like gets me into the spirit of things. I super enjoy it. So I do it this way. I am an unashamed hair nerd. Alrighty, everything is curled. Now we must let it cool and then we can continue. Also, hi. Once the curls are cool, I'm gonna start taking it out from the bottom and then we're gonna start teasing once we get about ear height. To have volume like they did in the 60s, you don't just tease at the top. No. You must make a base. It is all about that base. So we're actually gonna start here in the middle of the head by doing some teasing. Thankfully, this doesn't have to be smooth or cute or anything because we're gonna be covering it up, so go ham. Yes, that is what I meant to do. Now let's keep taking the curls out. And now we tease on the underside of this. You wanna hold it up and tease starting as close to the root as you can, and then you work your way out. So like start at the inside of the rainbow and then work towards the outside colors. The other thing is like you wanna tease more than you think you need because then you're gonna brush over and smooth it down. So like this is just so much. It's gratuitous, but once we smooth it, it's gonna be right. Can you even take me seriously right now though? Cause like I can't. All right, now we can start taking down the front. For this, you're just gonna tease a little bit and I'm positioning my comb diagonally this way so that the tease is mostly built up away from the face. I'm also putting a headband on this so I know that that's gonna take a lot of this down. So I really am going full beehive and then we'll take it back down. I'm reassuring both you and myself right now. And now I'm basically just using my comb to smooth over the top. You're not trying to get in there and brush this out. That's for later. Right now, we're just making the top look like there's nothing going on underneath. Now, once we've got the top, you're gonna start brushing out the bottom, but we just wanna go ahead and coax it into that flipped up state. And when I'm brushing these out, I am kind of holding my hand right where the ridge of that curl is, and then I'm brushing the curls up and over it to create that flipped out look, which is mostly working, but my hair is just a little bit long for this. So now, once you've teased and flipped, you have kind of a choice here. First of all, let me just note that my flip is a little bit long, so instead of standing straight up and doing this number, it's flopped over. I like that. I do think that's something that you would have seen in the 60s on somebody with a longer haircut. And for those of you who have longer hair, it would just hang down to be more of kind of like a Bardot-esque moment for you, which still works and is still accurate. However, if you really wanted that flip, I have faked it in shoots before, and this is how I do it. It's a little cheesy, but it works. You just pick up the hair and you finish out the circle for it. And you have to do this in a couple sections. You're gonna do this with like probably 4 sections of hair. Flip it up, get it where you want it, and then you bobby pin it in place. It looks a little funny because my hair is a little bit too short to be doing this, but if you have longer hair, this actually does really work. You can also, if you have longer hair, you have a little bit more hair to work with, so you can make these circles a little bigger. If you want, there's your option. And you can stop here if you want, but I wanted to add on a headband because I feel like that's very accurate to the era, and it just gives it a little bit more, especially because headbands are trendy this fall. It's a nice way to like have a costume, but make it fashion. And then if you do a headband, you might want to tease a little bit more right behind the headband, and then we're just going to spray everything in place. And there is your signature 1960s hairstyle. And now let's move on to the 1980s. So you might notice my hair already has some curl to it. I actually filmed the 1920s yesterday, and I've still got some curl going, and I thought instead of recurling all my hair again, maybe I'll just utilize this for today. I was thinking, because I've already done a Stranger Things video that has a lot of 80s hairstyles in it and they're a little bit more vibey, let's go a little ugly 80s today and have some fun. So first of all, to get the curls, you are gonna need a trusty small curling wand or straws, whichever you prefer. So if I was starting from scratch, I would be going through and curling each piece of hair in alternating directions toward and away from my face to get a nice, fluffy, curly look. Because my hair already has some curl in it, I'm just gonna go in and around the bottom, just touch up a couple areas, and on the top, recurl all the bits because they've gone a little straight. As I've been doing this, I've been going through and breaking up the curls with my fingers. I just think it's easier when you're already in the sections than going through and doing it afterward. I am gonna go in and fluff it at the roots a little bit because that's gonna zhuzh the whole curl out more. And I mean, if you just wanna like flip the curls to one side, that is enough. You've got an 80s look going on already. Okay, let me zoom you out a little bit. See, like, hold on. We're doing this. We're getting the outfit. I'm gonna give you guys the vibe here before we go on. Oh, hold on, one more thing. I have an actual vintage Levi's jacket from the 80s that I got for $2 at a thrift store. It's like one of my favorite things in my life. I mean, it's a look, right? Yeah, you can totally be done here, and it's cute. Anyway, moving on. Let's make it even more 80s. For my grand touch finale to this hairstyle, we're gonna do some fake 80s bangs. Are you ready? You're not ready, but we're gonna do it anyway. So I've done these kind of faux 80s bangs before. I've never showed you guys how to do them. Let's do that today. You're gonna do this in 2 layers. The first layer is just this little strip of hair. It's like half of what you would actually want to be in your bangs, right here across your forehead. So we need this to be at least a little bit moldable, which means we need to tease it. So I'm going to very lightly tease over the top and then smooth the underside. This just nets the hair together, gives you a chance to be able to do some stuff with it later. Now we're just gonna roll it up into a bang-ish shape, and it's gonna roll up and over. So you're gonna take the ends, wrap them into a circle, and then roll it up. And from here, you might need to loosen up that little circle because you want it to sit about halfway down your forehead or all the way to your eyebrows, just depending on how much forehead space you have. Once you have it where you want it, pin it in place. And now we're basically gonna do the same thing again. You're gonna let down the same section of hair, but this time we're going to tease on the underside and smooth on the top. Then you're going to curl the hair under and roll it up and pin it right next to where we pinned the first one so that the 2 rolls meet. Now we are almost there. Basically all we have left to do is bring these 2 edges together to create our nice little circle of bangs. So let's just start on the outside here and pull down gently. And you can see because we teased it, it's all kind of still netted together. So it creates that perfect little semicircle. Yes. And now we just do the same thing down here, but we're pulling the sides up. This time we have gravity working against us, so you might need to use some bobby pins. That's totally fine. Those are some bangs. Am I right, ladies? And then if you want one more piece of iconic 80s hair, there were these things called wings. We wing our eyeliner, they winged their hair by having these nice little gravity-defying sections on the side of the head. How do we do that? With the teasing comb. Just gonna grab the hair over your ears and tease. I've been told that the bigger your wing, the more proud you were of your hair. So do with that information what you will. The important part about these wings though is that they have this like combed nature to them. So you kind of want to comb over the top of it, just going straight to the side. Just this part right here. I guess that's the front of it more than the top of it. And then I'm just gonna grab some hairspray. Just like work this hair forward a little bit. It's another big 80s thing. That's it. Y'all, I would have killed in the 80s, except my hair is naturally straight, so maybe not. And there is your super accurate 80s hairstyle. Last but not least, we have the 2000s. Now, I gotta say, it's a little weird to recreate a decade I lived in. Just gonna throw that out there. But I also think I have a really great handle on what was cool. I think in the 2000s you could do emo MySpace scene, or you could go like Mean Girls / Paris Hilton. It's obvious which one I chose for today. I feel like a lot of the 2000s hair revolved around the haircut. It was definitely distinct. So we're gonna recreate some of the things from that with kind of a modern haircut now. And this will work on long or short hair. Let's do it. Let's see, I think we could use some flat iron perfector because I'm about to use a straightener. And now we're gonna go in sections because I wanna make sure I'm getting everything right and straight and just together. So I think in the 2000s, especially for this kind of mean girl look, doing kind of a faux blowout was a big deal, having the ends kind of bumped under and like coming in and you could like see the individual piecey layers. It was a big thing. So that's what we're recreating today. So with my iron, I'm gonna be creating kind of a C shape on my hair. That way we get volume here and a bump under here. And you know, you just change the C shape to fit your length of hair, whatever that is. You know, the first time I ever saw somebody section hair was watching The Simple Life with Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. They sectioned this girl's hair while they were straightening it for a night out. And I was like, what is that? Why are they doing that? And then I immediately just started doing it even though I didn't understand it. Okay, I kind of liked what I did there. I turned the iron diagonally in and you get this like flip right here. And now we let down the next layer. I'm gonna go in somewhat narrow sections simply because I really wanna articulate as many layers as I can. I don't have a very layered hairstyle. So the more little pieces you do like this, the more chances you have to individually bump as many pieces as possible. Do we remember these? All right, now we need the deepest of side parts. All right, and then on this side, I'm just letting down a similarly sized section. So after we do this side's gonna be done and we're just gonna keep working on this side until all this hair is over. Okay, so now for these top layers, instead of curling things in towards the face like we have, now they're gonna start doing C shapes away from the face. You know, I'm almost there. Let's just take it the rest of the way. So I ironed this forward. I'm just gonna grab the bang section. And it's okay if like all this hair comes forward. That was definitely a thing. And you're gonna lightly tease the underside. This is from my actual experience in high school. You're gonna smooth, especially right here. And then you don't wanna disrupt this at all. You just wanna take the ends, hold them over. And then you hold it right over your ear and you pin it in place. And then let's take a little bit of pomade or gel or whatever, and we're gonna rake that through the ends to make them a little bit piecier. So just a little bit here, and we like bear claw it in. This wasn't so much part of it, this is like faking. And then we're gonna go in and like grab individual pieces to help them look piecier. And I think that's the 2000s look. For sure. Just imagine this with slightly longer hair, still works. Doesn't matter the length, the bumped under, the side bangs, you're good to go. And those have been my decades hairstyles for Halloween this year. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I had so much fun making this. I love historic hairstyles and it was really fun to do. If you guys try any of this out, definitely let me know and leave a comment down below to let me know what else you'd like to see for Halloween this year or holiday, because that's coming up too. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button to help support my channel. If you're new here, you can hit the subscribe button to join the Braidaholic family here on Kayley Melissa. And all of you guys need to hit that bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. I looked recently, only 8% of you have hit that bell icon, so maybe consider being notified when I post a video. But that's it for today. Whether you're old or new or a casual lurker, thank you for spending time with me, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye! I'll be a sunbeam today. I look like a walrus. With a death. My sister is just having a conniption over there. It's fine.